Hi there, this is Two Legs Better, and today is this is another episode of badminton. Um, in I just came across this video. This is a video uploaded by WK Lim. You can find, I think it's a he. I don't know him personally. You can find his website, his channel. You can watch the games that he provides. Those are great angles. I'm kind of envy. I'm really jealous of him that can sit so close. And this is also a great angle to watch a game, because you can see a lot of the subtleties of the especially with the arm and hand and things like that. And this is also a very good game. Maybe not the greatest game, but it's a good game. It's between LIN Dan and CHEN Long in 2019. So you got to understand, in 2019, LIN Dan is 36, and CHEN Long is, what's CHEN Long's age? CHEN Long is also 30, 36, 30? Yeah, that's 30. So CHEN Long is 30, LIN Dan is 36, and but LIN Dan is clearly near the end of his career. He didn't participate in the next year's Olympics, which CHEN Long participated and get to the final and lost to Victor Axelsen. But this is still a great game to watch, and a lot of things that LIN Dan does at the age of 36 with the best of the best in the world is just nothing short of remarkable. So that's why this is a game that's worth checking out. So let's take a look at that, and I will point out what I see here, and hopefully we can enjoy that. Okay. Now, first thing I want to point out is the scores. Do you see the scores here? So the first game, CHEN Long won by 21-9. It's a pretty lopsided victory on CHEN Long's part, okay? And the second one was 21-17, LIN Dan won. And this is the third game. Now, when you think about the older players playing younger players, you might think, energy is a big part, right? The older player has a disadvantage, but not necessarily in LIN Dan's part. Because LIN Dan has the way of it's very, very exhausting play against LIN Dan, and hopefully I'll show you why that's the case. It's because of every little things that he does. So you may win, but it will consume a lot of your energy. And to the third game, you're back to your normal self basically, and LIN Dan is still there. And this is kind of interesting. And I also want to point out the height difference. You can see CHEN Long is taller than LIN Dan, significantly taller, and LIN Dan is 178 listed, and CHEN Long is listed as 187. So there is a 10 centimeter difference between these two. Now, to be fair, LIN Dan is to me, there's no argument. He's the greatest of all time. And his greatest enemy is basically Li Chongwei, right? But he maintains a very healthy winning percentage against Li Chongwei. But he does have a lot of trouble with taller players, like CHEN Long, like Victor Axelsen. And part of that is because, these guys are younger than him. Part of that is because what he does. What LIN Dan does is LIN Dan uses a lot of wrist and finger. So a lot of last moment movement. And for those are very detrimental to shorter players, because shorter players, they need to move. They really need to move because the coverage is not as big enough. But for taller players, they can stay there. They don't need to move. They can still get to the shuttle. So that's why he's little movement, his deception, if you will, I don't like the word, but deception, if you will, are more effective to the shorter players than the taller players. Now let's get into the game and see. I'll try to explain what I mean here. Okay. Okay, those are our normal exchange, and so CHEN Long was ready. So one thing I want to point out is LIN Dan's forehand. This one. Yeah, this one. This forehand, you can see LIN Dan. Can you see? Okay, here. Look at LIN Dan's face. So LIN Dan is looking at the shadow. But when you look at the shadow that way, you can't really see where your opponent is. You can't see where CHEN Long is. And look at CHEN Long's feet. Look at CHEN Long's feet. He's right in the center of the court. So he didn't really move. And because he's tall, he doesn't have to. And he can still cover everything. And this one, I would personally say, better choice would be straight down the line. It might be okay, but because CHEN Long is already there and his forehand would be lethal, so and LIN Dan just play that. But this is the thing: most players would play straight, and LIN Dan just at the last moment changed the racket and wrist and made a cross one. So let's see. Let's watch it another time. See that? So the motion is like this. Started high, then goes down. So make it look like it's going to be a high cross. But then at the last moment, before you hit it, you change the angle a little bit, it becomes a cross. Okay? But this is what I mean by taller players. Like CHEN Long, he can cover that. He didn't really move. He wasn't faked out by LIN Dan's earlier movement, so he was there and then just drop it back. And LIN Dan, on the other hand, had to go all across the court to get to that one. So that's why he's a little bit late. That's why his return wasn't. Look at that. So his return was not of high quality. This actually is the R2 part, the follow-up, the ready for the next one, ready 2.0, right? So he didn't, after the shot. But to be fair, it's very, very difficult. Your forehand, you are moving sideways, you hit it. Usually in the ready 2 part, you hit it, you let the racket head to lead you. You let the racket head to lead you, then you turn, right? But in this case, it's difficult. That's why forehand is actually not necessarily the greatest part for a lot of players, like Lee Chongwei. His forehand overhead is one of his biggest weakness throughout his career. So, but anyway, so this is a great play on CHEN Long's part. Okay, I think it was out of bounds, so, but that's okay. This one is actually kind of interesting. Did you notice how LIN Dan get to the shadow? Did you see LIN Dan's little movement there? Let's do it again and see if you can spot that, okay? So what LIN Dan does is, let's see, look at that. Oh, this is the last one. Okay, let's see. You see that little pause? So LIN Dan got there with a little pause and then flip it. The little pause is going to freeze the opponent. That's what if you want to play great, you do that. You put your racket there, you can do a lot of things. If you move forward, you hit the shadow, that's a drop. And then you can lift it and you can do cross, you can do everything. This is why I want you to pay attention to LIN Dan's arm, the elbow. The arm, when he plays side, is almost never straight. The only time it is straight is overhead. Overhead is straight, is the highest point, right? Highest point. But on the side, it's never really all the way stretched straight. Why is you can still do things. You can move back, you can do cross, you can do hit, you can do drop, you can do a lot of things. If it's straight out, you can't really do many things. You can't do this, okay? And then you say, well, then if you are like with the angle, how you generate the power? Well, you generate power by the forearm plus your arm, your wrist and finger. So, okay. Did you notice CHEN Long after the shot and still running forward? And that little thing, that's the ready 2.0, that's the follow-up. A lot of current players don't do that. So when you watch the videos, pay attention. Those little things, that's why these players are great. And some of the younger ones are never going to be great because they don't do the little things. Okay, between LIN Dan and CHEN Long, I just pay attention. I want to point out, but I'll just point out. For CHEN Long would like a high shot, right? Overhead. His racket is up, but not over, and the motion is together. So up here, and then go up and then hit, right? That's what CHEN Long does. LIN Dan doesn't. LIN Dan raise it overhead and then pause it and then do the hit. And the difference is it's easier to judge where CHEN Long is hitting than LIN Dan's. And I just pointed out and see if you can spot that. But in the last rally, I can see that clearly in a couple of those shots. Just pay attention to them. For LIN Dan, you almost see a pause every time. It's almost like he get to the shuttle, then he stays there, and then just start to see where the opponent is, and then start to hit. It's uncanny. Okay, so the last rally, it was like a practice. But one shot I kind of want to point out is this one. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, this is the one. I want you to see how high LIN Dan's racket was in this case. See that? You see that? So first, the racket head is up. It's backhand, but the racket head is up. Okay, and then look at the angle of the racket head. Okay, so when you are that high, you can do a lot of things. You can push it, you can drop cross, and you can drop, you can lift. You can do a lot of things, and that's another thing I want you to notice. A lot of people don't do that. And somebody commented and said, I forgot about Zhou Tiancheng from Taipei. I didn't forget. I don't want to sound like I'm bashing some people or something. But Zhou Tiancheng is as tall as CHEN Long. He is physically, he might be better even. He's at least as good as CHEN Long. But he didn't accomplish what CHEN Long does. CHEN Long got one Olympic gold medal and one or two. Let me see. How many did CHEN Long get? CHEN Long got one gold medal, one gold, one silver, and one bronze at Olympic Games, and numerous, and two world champions. And so he reached the top multiple times, but Zhou Tiancheng never did. Why? I personally believe it's because of the Zhou Tiancheng's style. Zhou Tiancheng is just physically too good. It become his own enemy, kind of. He doesn't have to try hard to beat most players. That's why he's at the top most of the time, for such a long time, because he can just casually play. He can beat 99% of the players. However, in order to get to the top, to over the hump, to beat people like CHEN Long, LIN Dan, Li Zhongwei, and others, like Kento Momota, you have to go over the top of yourself. You can't just play casually and expect to win against these top competitions. So just pay attention to LIN Dan, how LIN Dan plays. You look at the footwork, and look at the body, and it's just it's classic. It's textbook. So, but too bad he didn't win this rally, though, right? But that happens. Even if you do everything right, it doesn't mean you're gonna win. To me, the difference between LIN Dan of 36 and the LIN Dan of 25, like 2008, is the speed of movement, the R2, the follow-up. After a shot, LIN Dan is slow to move to the next position. Slower, not really slow, but slower. That makes his shot less threatening. So, and that, that kind of is the major difference in this case. It's still pretty threatening, but not as lethal as before. So, did you see that little movement? That little flick? Oh yeah, did you see that? This is what I mean by you have an angle at your elbow here. You have an angle at your elbow here, then you move forward, you can hit, you can drop it, and then you flick, you can flick it high. So, and then you can do cross, and everything you can do here is contingent on your opponent, on CHEN Long, where CHEN Long moves. And let's take another look at here. All right, you see that? So it's kind of interesting that the starting point of the racket is actually not very high. It's like a flat, but this is what LIN Dan does. He can move it high. And look at the shuttle. The shuttle is here. The shuttle is above the net, and the racket head is here. But he's going to move it high, and then he's going to watch CHEN Long. So let's keep your eye on CHEN Long. Think about yourself as LIN Dan. So you are ready to hit the shuttle. If you try to see CHEN Long, what do you see? You see that? CHEN Long had a little movement towards the back, to the corner. So he thought it was going to be a backhand corner lift. And LIN Dan saw that and immediately changed just by dropping the hand a little bit, and then a little bit flick of the wrist, and it's a drop. One more time, let's see. Okay. You see that? Oh yeah, that's a nice shot. This is a great rally. Look at CHEN Long's face. Look at CHEN Long's face. CHEN Long was like, oh my God, what can I do? And that was a great rally. Okay, let's see. And I think this is the one. Okay, that's the one before that. I actually want you to see something earlier. Okay, let's see this one. There's so many things I want to point out, but this is a little bit too tedious. So let's move on. Now, how did this happen? How did CHEN Long got out of position? Can you tell me? Well, sorry, my professor instinct, right? I ask students all the time. But the problem is this. CHEN Long didn't do the R2. CHEN Long, the choice was okay, it was fine, it was a smash. And the execution was fine. It's not a huge smash, but it was a decent smash. And the problem is R2, the follow-up. After smash, he didn't follow up immediately. And so when he saw that LIN Dan goes low to defend it, he thought there's a chance he needs to get to the net, but that's already late. And LIN Dan, as low as he was on the ground to get to the shadow, his peripheral vision can still see CHEN Long's movement. When CHEN Long showed clear movement to go forward, LIN Dan just flicked over CHEN Long's head. It doesn't have to be very high though. It didn't have to be very high, and it already works. So let's look at that again. See that? That's a little bit, just that, and force the CHEN Long to use the backhand. And look at LIN Dan's follow-up. And because you look at CHEN Long, his head is completely turned to face back, so there's no way he can see. And so the most likely shot is around this area. Of course, these great players, they can do these things. You know, for CHEN Long, you can see the backhand, CHEN Long can still do here. That's where he should have done. He should have break it there. But the problem with that is LIN Dan is on the left side of his court. And so if CHEN Long does here and LIN Dan didn't move, then CHEN Long is in huge trouble. So CHEN Long thought it was going to be a good shot to put it in the open court. But the thing is, LIN Dan is already predicted that and moving there. So it was not necessarily a bad shot by CHEN Long. But you look at where CHEN Long is. CHEN Long is right here. And for LIN Dan, this is a no-brainer, right? Just drop it here. Even if you don't win, and CHEN Long is going to have to run to scramble to get to the shot. And look at how high LIN Dan's racket is. How high it is, and the angle here. And look at the wrist. Look at the wrist, and look at the elbow. And look at that. So it's a snake. It's like a snake. You have a elbow, there's your angle, wrist, there's the angle. That gives you flexibility, so you can move. You can move in different ways. So when you have that, just a little cut to the bottom of the shuttle, and it's a drop, and it's a night core. See that? And that is just beautiful. That's just beautiful. Okay, this is another masterful rally for LIN Dan. And why? Because LIN Dan changes the pace. Sometimes he got to the shuttle really, really high and push it at a high pace. Sometimes he goes very low. It's like a whole range. So you can go at high and you can go at low. And there's a whole range in between, right? So that's almost like think about you are an opera singer, right? You have the highest voice, you have the lowest voice, and you can move in between, right? Think of that. Think of LIN Dan's shots like that. LIN Dan can go from the highest point to the lowest point. Now, in badminton, you can beat people with both. You can be faster than everybody. You get to the shuttle always at the highest point, and you're just faster than everybody. That's how Li Chongwei beat everybody, because Li Chongwei is faster than everybody. And you can be at the lower point, but you're just too good. That is the Kento Momota at his peak. Why Kento Momota now cannot really play well? Because he's older. So he's not at his peak now. And his strategy doesn't allow him to do that. At his peak, Kento Momota basically chose the safest option. He received the shuttle at the lowest point, but I can get it back with quality. So you can't kill me because I'm at my safest place. So we'll get to Momota in sometimes, But LIN Dan isn't. LIN Dan is like the whole range. In the last rally, it was clearly that. Let's see if I can find it for you. Let's see. Okay, let's see. See that the last one, it was over the net, right? That's a high point. And then after that, it was lower point. Let's see. Okay, see that? You see that? That is the racket head is directly up. So it's a higher point. It's a faster one. It's a faster receiving of the shuttle, right? You may say, he's already there. Well, that's part of it. He can get to there now, but you can see the next one. The next one is almost exactly the same place, and he's already there, but he didn't do the same. See that? See that? The last one, that was also a high point one, right? High point one, just push it down. Now let's see the next one. See that one? You see that one? He didn't go high. He didn't go high at the net. He's kind of waiting from the lower point and examining the opponent and then lifted that. So that's the range. That's the whole range LIN Dan has. First, you gotta applaud LIN Dan's defense. The defense is great. It's really, really great. And the other thing I want to point out is how LIN Dan used the same motion, but to the different place. The exact same motion. In that shot, during that rally, there was one shot here, straight clear versus cross drop. Same motion. If you are CHEN Long on the court, you can't tell which is which, and that's the beauty of badminton. You know why it was out of bounds? Because CHEN Long tried to do it early. In this one, CHEN Long tried to do it a little bit earlier than he usually does, and that makes it, maybe 20 centimeters earlier than he usually does to the shuttle, and that makes a huge difference in the badminton court. This is why you can use fingers and wrists, just flick. You can lift that, especially in the front court, and that little bit made the difference here. So anyway, this is a subtle point. It's hard to, this is a subtle point. Let's see. Yeah, a backhand out of bounds. And anyway, I kind of want to show you that cross drop net shot, but it was okay. It was he didn't use his body; he just used the arm. That's why it was not a very good cross shot, but it's okay. Okay, so it was a straight smash and kill at the net. So there's nothing too special about that. So. Three backhand. Did you notice LIN Dan's three backhand? Every time is at a different location. The height is different, the flick is different, and the placement actually is similar. I think all three are the same placement, but the location is different. If you are on court, I want you to put into CHEN Long. If you're CHEN Long at the time, you can't tell. You cannot tell each one where it goes. Okay, it could be any one of them could change to a drop. So let's take another look and see if you can spot that. Okay, start from the serve. See how low? See how low? It's even lower. It's even lower. So each time is lower than the first time. It's almost like trying to lure CHEN Long to the net. It's like come. If you're CHEN Long, you're gonna be tempted, and actually he was. He kind of creeping to the net, and then every time it was going to the backcourt. So the problem with playing against LIN Dan is you do, you die. You don't, you die. It's like if you don't move, he's going to drop it. If you move to protect the net, he's going to lift it. Then what can you do? Well, the answer is follow up. If after each shot you're already in position before he was in position to make the shot, then you are in better position. You don't have to run as much, and you don't have to change your mind as much. So, but that's that's beyond the point of this one. So we'll see. Let's see. Whoa, the last one is a beauty. It's like a backhand net, right? Every time, can you see that? He went there, put the racket head there, and then just a little flick of the wrist, and every time it's like baiting. It's baiting CHEN Long. Come to the net. Come to the net. And earlier, CHEN Long was like, okay, I come to the net, and then he every time he lifts it to the backcourt, so he had to move back, and then he lost that point. And this time he's like, I'm going to stay at the back. All right, you stay at the back. I'm going to drop here. I'm going to drop here, and eventually you die again, right? Let's just take look at the last one more time. This is just beautiful. See that? You see that? So because LIN Dan changes every time. So first a couple times it was drop. You think, okay, this time probably going to be the lift like the last shot. No, change last moment because you didn't move. So this is the thing. This is the highest level of badminton is what I do is not what I do. What I do is in contingent upon what you do. If you react, I do one thing. If you don't, I do another. So you can, if you could say every shot is a fake shot, and every shot is not a fake shot. So it's just the beauty. And this one, CHEN Long is like, okay, I'm going to play speed with you. And LIN Dan is like, okay, I can play speed. LIN Dan is, by speed, he's no slower than anybody, And CHEN Long did great in this rally. He even made a cross drop. At LIN Dan's peak, you almost see nobody takes LIN Dan's smash cross court. Nobody can do that. Maybe Peter Gade at some point, or maybe Taufik, But you rarely, even these two, you rarely see them able to do that. Now Lin Dan is 36. His match is not as powerful, so people can do that. But CHEN Long is good too, so it's not just because Lin Dan is going down, but also because CHEN Long is good. But you know, it's a combination. But still, CHEN Long did great in this rally, but still lost. This is just a pure Lin Dan. If you don't change, you know, he's going to predict where you go with the shuttle. And if he does that, he's already in position. You're in huge, huge, huge trouble. Yeah, that's another almost mundane exchange. But did you notice Lin Dan's movement after the shot, after the execution, after hitting the shot? His movement back to the position is not always the same. I mentioned Zhou Tiancheng, so it's only fair I mention him again. Zhou Tiancheng, after every shot, basically the same pace. He's like walking back or something, you know. He's tall, he's rangy, he can control everything. So, but by walking, it's even by thinking, you know, not every shot should be walking back, right? And Lin Dan doesn't. Lin Dan does that based on the shot he makes. If it's a faster shot, he's moving back faster. If it's a high shot, he's moving back slower. So there's a rhythm, there's a pace in there. You see how Lin Dan just kind of rushed back? And now walking. Now running. You see that? If it's a cross, there's a long distance to go, he's going to run. If it's high lift and he has more time, he's going to walk. And that's the rhythm in his game. Lin Dan is like a encyclopedia of badminton. Literally, I mean, everything he does, nothing he does on the badminton court is casual or you know, it's almost like a key to all the locks on the court. So it's just beautiful for me to watch him. Little hesitation. Yeah. Did you notice that backhand? That backhand is so high backhand cross court and very high lift and still very, very far deep on the court. It's just beautiful. But even then, he lost at this point. Do you think that's because of the backhand? Don't do backhand. That's just my pet peeve, you know. Just don't do backhand. I don't see anybody do backhand, professional or not, amateur or, you know, whatever, competition or casual, does backhand, you know, consistently get the better of it. It's very difficult. It's almost impossible. If it's equal competition, backhand will put you down. Okay, I kind of want to point out that a cross-court return. Let's see, is this the one? Do you see that? Okay. Do you see that cross-court return? Okay, look at Lin Dan's racket. What I want to point out is this. What I want to point out is this. It's you see Lin Dan's footwork. See his footwork. Lin Dan has a chance to intercept the shuttle at an earlier point. He could, but he didn't. He put the racket low, but it doesn't mean he's helpless. And look at his wrist. His arm is straight, but his wrist is with an angle. So arm is like this, the wrist is like this. So when you have that, that makes the cross a possibility, because your arm is straight, you just get it back and then just flick the wrist and use your finger, it's a cross. So let's look at that. See that? So you move your arm, your hand back, and then flick the wrist at the same time. That's a cross. Okay. It was out of bounds. Yeah. LIN Dan was not really trying too hard, right? Maybe tired, maybe he's relaxed a little bit, and just leave it high to make mistakes. 2 points away. Yeah, that's how much people like him on court. I mean. Yep, a couple smash and kill it out of the net. CHEN Long basically gave up at this point.
Sit down, sit down.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, he won. Okay, okay. Did you see earlier in the rally 3 drop at the same location? That's CHEN Long's forehand. 3 drop, different movement, different shot, same place, same job. That's the variety. When you look at that, you almost expecting something different. You think, oh yeah, this is different from last time, but it must be something different. That's what CHEN Long must be have been thinking, right? So, but anyway, so this is a great game, and this is the real maestro. LIN Dan and CHEN Long both here, and both are great. So, but this game is great. So, and another shout out to WK